Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're back at it again with Matt, U.S. Navy veteran, co-director of a documentary film, Long Island's Forgotten Heroes, which the show is premiering on October 20th, 2022. Get your tickets, get out there, support him, because his documentary is about homeless veterans living in the streets in Long Island. So you guys need to get the inside scoop. And can you fill us in, Matt, about this?
Yeah, absolutely, Rob. Thanks for having me on. So, all right, so my name's Matthew Simoni, and as Rob was saying, been filming for the last 8 months now, a mini documentary, Long Island's Forgotten Heroes, and it what this documentary does, what the purpose of it is, in essence, is to raise awareness in the community, and even outside the community, really, because it doesn't I happen to be residing in Long Island right now, and this certainly veteran homelessness certainly doesn't end here. Whoever's listening to this right now, there's homeless veterans in your state, I guarantee that. And the way I see it is that any man or woman who served their country and put their time in, it's only like 1 or 2% of the population, that enlists in the military. It ain't that much. And we shouldn't be out there on the streets being homeless. So what we did over the last 8 months is we went out into wooded lots, and we found homeless veteran encampments. Went out to the train stations at night. Met, got build relationships with these veterans. And the reason I do this is, in 2016, I was discharged after just under a decade of active service, and I was homeless myself for about a year and a half, and that's really my driving force behind this. So,
Right. Well, that's an amazing reason to be out there, giving back to the community. Especially those that need it, because you've seen it. If you were homeless out there, you were in the streets, and you've seen the help available, and what veterans have to access as far as a life support. If they're in a situation like that, and it's a no man's land. Where these veterans are out in the streets and stuff. I mean, I'm surprised that any of them or any of us can make it out of a situation like that, because the VA, they're not going in there, in the woods to look for these veterans that are homeless and feed them and stuff. There's nobody going out there, to help these veterans. So for you to go out there, and do a documentary to let everybody see what really is going on, I think it's going to bring a lot of light to this situation.
That's what we're trying to do, Rob. It's crazy because it's not. I mean, everybody. We're not in the Vietnam era. Everybody loves veterans. Everybody supports veterans. We got a multitude of resources. Veterans benefits are available. The problem is that, okay, so even for the non-homeless vet, the way I see it anyway, even for the non-homeless vet, most of us don't know half of the resources and the benefits and what's out there for us. Now, you talk about the homeless veteran, they have no possible chance of knowing, getting to them, following up on it? Zero. So what Bravo Foxtrot United Veterans, that's the name of our organization, and what we're trying to do is the vets that need the help the most, the position that I was in, and it's so many others, is to get them to these resources, because or else what good is having them? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, and they can't get to the VA, and they can't follow up on their appointments. It's impossible. These people can't even house themselves sometimes or feed themselves,
Right.
let alone get a hot shower to go get a job interview. And that's even if there's a job available.
Right.
So there's not even a lot of jobs for these guys, and they don't have the training. These guys are trained to fight at war or have been to war and fought. They're not, trained to go work at a local,
Right.
forklift company, or construction company. They don't have the background to do that. So they're not even qualified for a lot of jobs out there, so they come home, don't have a job, don't have a career, and don't have any help from anybody.
That's exactly right. And what do we do from here? Because I hear so much of the and the 22 a day, 22 veteran suicides a day, and that's horrible, man. I don't want to have any veteran suicides. And then let me throw another number out there to everybody out there listening. 550 a day. A lot of things, a lot number that a lot of people don't realize is for every successful suicide, there's 25 suicide attempts. Just 550 suicide attempts per day, every day in the United States, made by veterans, and it's a problem that needs to be addressed. I mean, never have I heard somebody from a seldom, I should say, have I heard somebody from a well-to-do family upbringing, with a fed with a silver spoon, with their future paved, joining the Marine Corps. It just usually doesn't happen that way, or joining the Navy or joining the Army. Usually doesn't happen that way. Don't want to leave the Air Force out, but and the thing is that once these service members, once we get out and we're discharged, there needs to be some type of protocol in place to reintegrate, and there's a major gap missing, and I really think we need to wake up and start filling that gap. Serious, it's a problem, at least out here.
Yeah, well, there needs to be better programs set up in your area for veterans that are discharging from the military and going into the veteran status, because they're not getting linked up with the VA. They're not getting linked up with any resources, and they're just trying to get back into civilian life, and it doesn't happen. They don't have that support that they had in the military and that camaraderie. So it's hard and difficult for them to continue their mission when they get out the military. And so with no mission and nothing to focus on, they probably get down and out, and run into troubles. They don't have families, like you're saying. They're not from a rich family or a wealthy family, because a lot of people that sign up for the military are from the inner cities. Let's be real.
Yeah,
we're the ones that don't go to college.
that's
so
right. That's right. Right. It's like that choice. Like, all right, I like that. For me personally, it was college just wasn't really my thing. Getting out of high school, so I worked construction for a little while, then I said to myself, man, I don't want to be doing construction the rest of my life. There's really nothing. There's nothing in this. So I enlisted. Do something better. Do something bigger. Do something better. And I loved it. I really do. I love being in the military. I found my niche, that camaraderie like you were talking about. And I miss it till this day. That's God's honest truth. But it's like a double-edged sword too, because at the same time, I have I have my own personal feelings towards the military, towards the Navy, because of the the way I was discharged, and I have an honorable discharge. But I was initially discharged on an OTH, and after four combat deployments. And it's one of those things that transitioning into civilian life, it's it's something that I think that personally, me, I'll be dealing with for the rest of my life. I truly believe that. I do.
What do you think? So what's the answer to fixing the situation? Like in Long Island, in your area, because you're there every day, you're doing a documentary. What kind of help do we need to get? Obviously we need boots on the ground in Long Island, and your boots are on the ground. You're out there helping, but you're gonna need help out there. Because
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of veterans, you're gonna need a lot of resources to get things going, so you can try to clean up the streets with the veteran community out there and get these veterans the help they need. What are you gonna need? What's the answer out there to trying to fix the problem locally in your city? Because if you can figure out a way to help these veterans there, maybe it could be a model for the rest of the country. Because this, like you said, this is a problem in every city.
It really is. This isn't a Long Island. It's not a local problem. It's not a Long Island problem. This is a problem nationwide, like you were just saying. And it's funny you said that, because a prototype is really what we're going for in this film, Long Island's Forgotten Heroes. And the problem that I found as a homeless vet, as a vet suffering with uh suicidality, uh uh a self-medication, um depression, PTS, whatever, you put it on the list. And what I found is that there's, like I was saying earlier, there's all these organizations and all these resources, but each of them fill like just a little piece of the pie. So the way we see it, the prototype, like you were saying, a big part of that is financial stability, right? So we need to have our financial stability, and then of course mental health is a huge part of that. So you have your and then financial financial, what do you call that, understanding your finances, or financial freedom, understanding how to manage your finances, what I'm trying to say.
Right.
And sometimes we can't do that. So when we get a fiduciary, so somebody to manage our finances for us, that's another option. And then another huge part of the pie is the the support systems, which is so important. You know, I had zero support systems when I got, I was divorced from my wife. I was estranged from my children, zero support systems. So the support systems is that next piece that needs to be filled. So what we found is that you can't hand somebody, like I can't walk into the woods right now and veteran A, I can't get him to reintegrate into community, back into his family after so many years, or however many years it's been for veteran A. But he needs to, or he or she needs to meet us halfway. So that pie chart that I'm talking about, the veteran, he or she needs to meet halfway, put in at least 50% of the effort, and then when the rest of those pieces are filled, I think we have a real chance for success. And it takes boots on the ground, like you were saying, to get it done, because the people, veterans in these situations, they sure ain't getting in a car and driving to these places, and they don't have a daily planner or daily schedule, and they're not getting that done. So we need to be able to meet them halfway.
So, do you think the problem is to be fixed in your city? Like, do you think you should help them locally? Or what if they were picked up by a van and shipped like to a different place in a different area where they could get out of the inner city and maybe like have a better life somewhere else? And like
Rob, that's crazy that because it's like we're on the same page, brother, because that's really what we want to do. That's what Bravo, that's what we founded this on, is getting the veterans, especially combat vets, out of the city, out of populated, even suburban areas, and to and I wasn't going to get into this today, but hell, and to get them into working with the land, into nature, and work we call it transmuting negative energy into the ground, and plant, whether it be planting, farming, working with animals, that I truly believe is where the answer's at. And that's, like I said, that's really taking a few steps forward right now. Bravo Foxtrot, we're focusing on the level that we're at, but we're trying to gain support. We've been building up a lot of momentum, and grateful to be on this podcast, man. I mean, I hope this is really going somewhere. I believe it is.
Listen, Matt, to be honest, we can make it happen, brother. I mean, you already making it happen, but all we need is a little piece of land somewhere in the country, a little farmhouse in the middle of nowhere. They can go out there, they can get their mind right, they can be free, live off the land. They don't have to worry about all the city life, which is holding them back, really. Yeah. And it's nothing, man. Maybe even up like a spot upstate New York or something. Get them somewhere up there, where they're still close enough to their family, and start bus riding them out there.
Man, that is the truth, man. You're speaking the gospel right now. And I'm not very religious, but I use that term. I am very spiritual. I do believe in God, but I want to say that what you just said right now is everything everything that we aspire and are trying to do. It's work for me. That is what saved my life. By the grace of God, or source, whatever name you choose, anybody out there chooses to put on that higher power. I'm here today, and it what Rob was just talking about, as far as some silence and some solitude, being with nature, being able to find ourselves out of the hustle and bustle, and reconnect. That is, it's so important. I truly don't think that it's possible without that. And that's speaking from experience. I mean, I've been there, you know.
Matt, you're a product of your society. You know, if you're in a bad spot around some bad situations, there's no getting out. You know, if the hole is so deep and you don't have a shovel, or if you don't have a rope to get out, you're never gonna get out of there. You know, and then these guys, they need to be taken out of that element. You know, the element they're in isn't healthy for them. It's not working. It's not the right answer. I mean, we're
Yep.
barely keeping them alive, you know, bringing them sandwiches and food. I mean, we're pretty much, that's all we're doing, is trying to keep them guys alive out there.
That's it, man. That's it. And that ain't enough. It's
No,
not. You know, it ain't.
it's not enough. No, not at all. I mean, not if there's a chance to give them a chance to have, you know, a family again, or, you know, some kind of, if they want to work, or do something, you know, give them a chance to do something again with their lives, you know, because they don't deserve to live in the streets like that, you know, and have people walk by them every day like they're, you know, like they're just like an animal living in the streets, laying in the streets, you know. So and that's all they know. That's all they know. And it's normal. It's normal for people to walk by and let people live like that. And the homelessness rate is only going up. What do you think?
I know it is. I know it is. It's a major problem. I mean, you're talking about veterans and non-veterans, but you know, right now you know, we're talking about veterans. Veteran homelessness is at an all-time high, and it ain't. It's not. It's not getting any better. Whatever is happening right now, and what's been happening, isn't working, or whatever programs, whatever ideas that have tried to be brought to fruition, have not worked so far. So what I say, let's keep pushing forward. It takes people like you, Rob, people, humbly I'll say, like myself, to be able to step forward, and who else is going to do it? I mean, this is America. I mean, this is a country we fought for, man, and who else is doing it? I mean, it's got to be us. I mean, it's got to be somebody, because there's a problem. You know, it's a problem. It's sad.
Well, and you're right. The programs that right now that are being funded, they're not working. You know, they're not working. The people who are running the programs, see, homelessness, they're not fixing the problem. If they fixed homelessness, there wouldn't be a problem with homelessness no more. Somebody in the back room wants people to stay homeless.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That you got that right, brother.
Because they could fix the problem. You know, so there needs to be new programs. There needs to be new innovation. You know, every day there needs to be new innovation on how and what we need to do for our veterans. And I think that, Matt, you should definitely be shipping these guys out somewhere to a farm, and having these guys set up where they can get away from the element of the city, of the hustle and bustle, and try something different for themselves.
And that, like, that's what Bravo Foxtrot. That's what Bravo Foxtrot is. And unfortunately, right, we have to compete. With, and I don't know if anybody who watches this or sees this, understands or whether you do or you don't. I'll break it down for you. This is the 501c3 status, if you will. Okay, this is the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service. To have a nonprofit organization, you have it's called a 501c3. Now, what that does is that grants you a nonprofit organization, so people can donate or give money to your entity, your organization, your corporation, and they can receive tax write-offs in the amount that they donated to you. Okay, so that being said, what do we do? What do we do about organizations out there? And I'm certainly not calling out any names. What do we do about organizations out there? And we all know they're out there that are are soaking up funding and putting it in their own pockets. Taking the goodwill of the donating public, taking advantage of the goodwill of the donating public, taking their money, putting it in their pockets, taking 70, 80, 90% of the donations, putting it towards salary, and then the 10%, 20, 30 maybe goes to the veteran. I mean, it's a serious issue, and in my opinion, in Bravo Foxtrot's opinion, that's why we are in the position we are right now. There's absolutely no reason we should be in this position, and there's a solution here. I mean, I call it lofty expectations, but
Right.
this film on the 20th, a few days from now, it's this Thursday, 6 to 9 p.m. You get tickets at the door. I'll say this: any veteran who shows up on this Thursday night, October 20th, 6 o'clock p.m. At the Bayway Arts Center in East Islip, Long Island. It's a long shot. Any veteran that has to show up mentions this podcast, you guys walk in free. And I want everybody to see this thing. I really do. It's important. It's the real raw truth. It is. It's a tearjerker.
How long is your documentary, and how can we post it online? Is there going to be a chance for us for people to get a copy of it who can't go in person?
So the documentary is about 52 minutes long.
Right.
And we haven't figured out yet what we're doing after the premiere. It'll in order to try and raise funds, because we don't want government grants. Bravo Foxtrot, our organization, we don't want government grants because we're not trying to have anybody tell us how to do our operation. That we keep it simple. We go into the woods, we go into the streets, and we build relationships with. We don't need anybody looking over us and telling us how to do the job that we've been doing already for quite some time now. So so we might be looking into trying to put the film out there so the public can purchase it, just to try to we're trying to figure out how to keep this going.
Right. Yeah, well, you should get it on Netflix or Spotify or somewhere where you guys can get like some kind of or some kind of ebook or something where you guys can get like some kind of a fee, for your film, because yeah, you should that film should be bringing in money so you guys can put that back into helping these veterans and stuff, and then maybe work on another documentary.
Yeah, man. That is the plan. It's we're on the same page, man, because everything that man, no, I'm serious. Everything you said is that's exactly what we're going for, what we're doing, really, truly, truly. That's the truth, man.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think we both know what it takes to help these veterans. And the sad thing is, not everybody knows the truth. You got some guys in some desks pushing papers who've never even stepped in the streets and seen a homeless person before.
Yeah. Yep. That's the
Who's
truth.
writing regulations on how to fix the homelessness problem. So that's why it's not working. We need to take it from a actual soldier, a military veteran who's been homeless, who's been through it and made it out of it successfully, that can fix the problem. So I know you can fix it.
That's the truth.
I support you. I know everybody watching supports you. I know we're gonna love to see this documentary, and maybe a follow-up documentary on how you're helping these veterans, and anything that I can do personally. If I gotta help rent a van or help drive these guys out there to wherever you want to take them, or whatever it is you want to do, man, I'll support you. If I gotta fly into New York myself and come out there with you, I'll go walk around and help save some of these veterans, man. Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
that's what I'm talking about. And that's the kind of that's the kind of urgency we're trying to really put on this thing. And
So this is more of
really,
a
I
humanitarian issue.
say it
This is
again.
more of a humanitarian issue in our own country.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And when we're talking about the men and women that fought for our freedoms. I mean, come
Right.
on now. We got to draw the line somewhere, everybody out there. And just I want to just put this out, so anybody that might be listening to this, that will listen to this, check us out on Facebook. It's at BFU Vets. That's at BFU Vets Bravo Foxtrot United Veterans Inc. It's Facebook is really where we put most of our information out. We're at www.bravofoxtrot.org, but Facebook's really where we put most of our info out. And we're trying to get it. This is my therapy. I'm don't get me wrong. I'm out here saving my life too. At the same time. So
Brother, yeah, there's nothing like helping somebody else, man. The good God gives you back. When you help
that's right.
somebody else, we're supposed to pay it forward. Uh, and the more people you help, you're gonna save somebody's life. If you go out there every day, maybe you can't save every veteran, but you can try. You can try. And if you can stop one of them guys from committing suicide because you went out there and talked to them and they feel like they have support and they have somebody who cares and loves them, that could change somebody's day for them guys out there. Believe it or not, even if you didn't get them out of the streets yet, you having that relationship with them and showing them some support, can cheer them up, man. And that's sometimes, that's what they need. They just need to know somebody still loves them and cares for them. So
yeah, it's the little things, man. It's the simple things, the things that most of us take for granted.
yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
for sure.
Well, I'm stoked, man. I'm waiting to see
Yeah.
this documentary because tell me how much I'll send you. If you got a cash out, man, I'll send you something for a copy.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, for sure, man. I'm really excited for everybody to see this. And after the 20th, we'll certainly we'll certainly have it out there in some type of way. We're figuring that out right now. Like I said, we're we like to keep the organization small. I mean, there's a lot. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot. We've been getting a lot of media involved in what we're doing, but we keep our circle very tight because we don't want to be get corrupt or be like we're a veteran. We're veteran organization. We're veteran organization to the bone, and we remain to stay that way. Now, I do want to say one thing that's very important to us, and that is God bless our troops and God bless the principles that made our great nation free. That's real important. That's our little motto right there. So
hey, you know what? You know what I think we should do while since I'm talking to you and stuff. You know, we're kind of throwing a couple things at each other, but um, you know, normally I know a lot of people for veterans or active duty who have died and stuff. A lot of people they'll do name tags for them for the ones who are dead, right? To show
yeah,
support, you know, with their name, like, and they put them on their cars or something like that or somewhere. But even if we went out and made name tags for all the homeless veterans and did a head count, you
I
know,
like it.
and
Yeah,
yeah, write down their name, their social security card number, all their information, like and like a dog tag, you know, for
yeah,
all the ones out there, like a custom made dog tag,
I
and
like
then
that.
we go post their dog tags somewhere for the and we keep their dog tags posted up there until they get out of the homelessness situation, until we save that veteran, and that can be
I like that a lot. I really like that.
yeah.
Now that is a good idea, man. Because it's time that and that's something that everybody can see. You know that this is a problem. This exists, and it's right in everybody's backyard. You know, people need to
Right.
understand it. I
Yeah,
love it.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, man. Let's do it, man. You know, let's try to get this thing fixed, man. So, and you guys got it, New York, man. You guys, it's a big city, and so you're seeing
Yeah.
stuff that the country's not ready to see. I know this documentary will probably, you know, it's
It,
probably, you know, really
it's
deep.
good. Yeah, it's gonna hit. It's gonna hit pretty hard. I mean, this documentary is gonna hit pretty hard. You know, I I've already said to a few people, you know, like, you know, I don't recommend anybody under 16 uh watching it, and that's because the reason of we really wanted to keep this thing very raw, very real. I mean, how well? I mean, you can't sugarcoat something that you're wanting to get people to open up their eyes to. So this is our approach on it, and you know, with all my heart, I believe it's going to work, or else I wouldn't be doing it. You know, I wouldn't be I wouldn't be putting my life into it if I didn't believe with all my heart that it's going to work. So I know it
So,
will.
are you in the film now, or I know you're the director?
No, I'm not a movie I don't know much about. I don't know really anything about film, but
You're not.
you know what? It's funny because we have a you know, we got in touch in this weird whole long story of this production crew, and it's like you know, their names are Tevin and Julia's. It's called Hazy Sun Production, and
Right.
these guys have
Okay, guys. Well, That's Matt, U.S. Navy veteran, co-director of a documentary film, Long Island Forgotten Heroes, which premieres on October 20th, 2022. You guys got to get out there, support the film, support Matt in what he's doing, trying to help solve the mystery behind homelessness, which the mystery is there's not enough help out there for these guys. There's not enough support. And then these guys are dealing with a lot of different issues from being deployed and being in the military, you know, stuff that is holding them back from being successful. And there's not the help that they need. And like Matt was saying, a lot of these veterans don't have any families to come out there and when they come back from war, sometimes they don't have a family to come home to, or so. Let's pray for all the veterans out there in the streets who are homeless. Hold on. Dear Father, we pray and we ask you to help solve homelessness for our veterans and get them the support and help that they need. And maybe that'll stop them from committing suicide. We can save some lives. And in the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Okay, so that's that. Again, this is U.S. Military Veterans Suicide Prevention Podcast. We are here because there's 22 veterans a day who commit suicide, and we're trying to get that number to zero. And a lot of the homeless guys, they are committing suicide too. So we need to fix this homelessness thing. Maybe that'll get the number from 22 down some.